Spider-Man.
Look, next time, leave the fighting to the pros.
Okay, but what if there aren't any around?
Good one.
New York! Now you've been summoned for a special occasion.
I'm the one who kept order in this city!
Apparently the show's not over. Is there anyone left in New York who doesn't want me dead?
A thin line between living and dying. I'm on the edge and I might just die.
Next time you get in my way, I will not be so gentle.
Girl problems again.
Gotcha!
Shut up!
Coming up. Feel the rush.
Hands up!
Feel the rush. I said this ain't legendary.
What is happening to our city, Yuri?
I don't know. Feels like the end of the world. Maybe it is.
Peter Parker, how the hell are you?
The city is in danger. It needs our help.
All of our help.
All right, well, call the play, coach.
Gang of costume nutjobs is taking the city apart piece by piece. Time I return the favor.
This is opportunity knocking.
You know the closer you get to them, the more you become a target, right?
The closer I get, the better chance we have to stop them.
I've ordered Silver Sable and her team to shoot you on sight. This city's had enough of your vigilantism. You're officially an enemy of the people.
Come on, Peter.
How do I call you? I mean, you have like a cell phone in your pockets or something?
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got a whole bunch of new Spider-Man PS4 footage. Let's break it down. Mostly just giving you an idea for what the story is pretty early in the game, not counting any of the DLC that they haven't announced yet. But if you're brand new to the channel, I will do a giveaway for the game itself. All you have to do to enter that is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. You get a little bit of this early story where he captures Kingpin, puts him behind bars, and you hear him complaining about, I'm the real person that keeps order in this city. They sort of pay that off later with that voiceover dialogue where he's talking to Yuri saying, what's happening to our city? Like things are slowly crumbling down. Power abhors a vacuum, so the whole idea is that with Kingpin behind bars, Mr. Negative's crew, called the Inner Demons, start to take over his former territory. So you've already seen a whole bunch of footage of that, but you do sort of see Mary Jane on the prowl trying to investigate them, like looking through the doors here. And then you also see her later in Oscorp investigating what looks like another spider experiment. That might even be where Miles gets the spider bite from, because it seems like when Peter meets him earlier in the game during that big helicopter save, he's meeting him for the first time, and Miles is just a big Spider-Man fanboy, but somehow gets roped up in this. It doesn't seem like he has powers when they're on the stoop here. Maybe that happens much later in the story. You get a bunch of new shots of Silver Sable, who is gunning for Spider-Man. The voiceover sounds like it's either the captain of the police or one of the other villains that's hired Silver Sable to take Spider-Man down. But the way they call Spider-Man out for being a vigilante, like your days of being a vigilante in this city are over, makes it sound like it's the chief of police, which would normally be Gwen Stacy's dad. I'm loving the Green Goblin teaser that they give us with all this Oscorp footage. It looks like an older version of Norman Osborn, so I would say he has parity with Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn. So I don't think they would leave us hanging, even though we actually haven't seen him full-on Green Goblin. They might save that for one of the last trailers that they release, because there's still about a month before the game comes out. But remember, way back at E3, they released that special trailer with the rooftop fight with the newer version of the Sinister Six. One of them refers to a mysterious benefactor that wants Spider-Man alive. That's probably going to wind up being Norman Osborn.
Remember, he said not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to. Ah!
But we also found out that Dr. Octopus is going to be in the game too, but we don't know exactly what he's going to be doing. Just people saw footage of him. He looks much bigger and more badass than he does in the comics. I think they're just trying to do a hardcore version of the character. You get some cool footage of him in the Homecoming suit. There's a whole bunch of different suits in the game. They've already shown off the Iron Spider costume. We haven't seen the symbiote, and for those of you asking whether or not Venom is in the game, way back last year the developers weren't ruling him out, but then earlier this summer, just a little while ago, one of the developers said there just wasn't room for him in the game. But a lot of people, conspiracy theory, are thinking that that's just to purposefully mislead everyone so that when the Venom movie comes out in early October, they can surprise everyone with Venom DLC that will introduce the character to the game, as well as the black symbiote costume. But in order to do Peter Parker's symbiote within this game, they would have to introduce like a whole other storyline. Because right now, it seems like Norman Osborn, Oscorp, the Sinister Six, Mr. Negative, and his Inner Demons game are the real main storyline. So any other big Spider-Man story that they want to do from the comics, like if they wanted to do the 2099 Spider-Man costume, that would probably be something they would introduce through a DLC campaign. Because even though there are like a billion different costumes, the game does have ways of explaining why he's wearing it. It does make sense. But this is the main version that you start with. He's about 23 as of the beginning of the game. So he's been through college, he's interning at a lab, and the game sort of picks up with you taking down Kingpin and then everything getting set off from there. There was that really long clip that they released at E3. I'll link that at the end of this because you do see a bunch of the Sinister Six in that. But so far, all we know is Rhino, Scorpion, Electro, Shocker, Vulture, Mr. Negative, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, obviously because we got that Norman Osborn teaser, and Taskmaster, along with Silver Sable, who isn't a villain, but she's gunning for Spider-Man, so they're kind of at odds. So you have to view her as a villain for part of the story, but she might wind up helping him out later in the game. They haven't released a complete list of all the characters that they've included, but let me know in the comments which other ones you're hoping that they include. Within the MCU though, a lot of you are asking if they're going to attach the Captain Marvel trailer to the Infinity War Blu-ray release. I'm not expecting that, but if they do, of course I'll do a video. The thing is though, is that Blu-ray is being released next week, so we'll find out in the next couple of days. When they do drop that trailer, Kevin Feige said pretty quickly after it they'll reveal the title of Avengers 4, that I am expecting to see some kind of Avengers 4 footage or a teaser before the end of the year. But remember, one thing at a time, Captain Marvel trailer, then the Avengers 4 title, then a teaser for Avengers 4. While you wait for everything, click here for that brand new One Punch Season 2 trailer, and click here for that longer Spider-Man PS4 footage. Thank you so much for watching, everybody stay awesome, I'll see you guys tonight.